Brilliant. Hello. So I just stopped the video before because I wanted to make sure that Oksana could join us. So just give me 1 second and it should be super easy. So just give me 1 second. All right. Boom. So unfortunately, guys, when we're doing direct stuff, there are so many things that you have to understand and make sure they all work. And let's see how it goes. Let's make it. Ooh. Unfortunately, see the unable to join on the E20, which is a shame because I can't do that. But let's see in a second if it works. Anyway, I'm just welcome everyone one more time. I'm Gabs. This is What's in the Glass, and today is Wednesday. So on Wednesday we're having a ground stream, and on the ground stream we are, promoting bottle shop around London. And the bottle shop that I'm promoting today is Mother Kelly's, and Mother Kelly's is a company which have various venues around London, and the venues in London is the one that I know the most is the one in Bethnal Green, and we refer it as E2, and is the it's like a mecca for craft beer enthusiasts and people that really love the element of beer. And I always love to be in that place itself. Okay, just a second. See how it goes now. So I should have this. Yeah. Okay. Someone will join me in a second. Sorry, guys. This is the beauty of the direct,
Oh, surprise!
How are you doing?
I don't have an Oksana mask to wear, so
You need to understand that
I'm just gonna have to be me.
it's fantastic. The most difficult thing that you're learning when you're doing these things is everything can happen. Everything can happen. And seriously, like I was just literally trying to invite the MK20, but he says you can't do it. So when is that happening?
Yeah, I keep seeing it pop up.
This is the problem. But it's fine. I mean, it's a good read because you probably know so much about Mother Kelly's itself, and you can help me in this. Thanks to join us, actually.
Cheers.
Can I introduce Ree? So Ree is the most angelic person I ever met in my professional life, not just the professional life. And you can tell that she's the one who saved people, and she saved me many times. And also she she's a good friend, and every single time I see her, I don't know how I'm gonna go back at home because we're gonna have a few drinks, and I don't really want to go home because I want to stay with her. But have you been busy these days, Ree?
Yeah, always busy, mate. There's at the moment most of our staff are furloughed because most of our sites are closed. And there's just 3 of us that aren't furloughed at the moment. So myself, Nika, who's also working in head office,
Yep.
and then Aegis, who's running our N16 shop in Stoke Newington.
Wow.
So yeah, it's between the 3 of us and Nigel, obviously the director, to keep the show on the road. So it's been pretty epic, a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm sure. Again, as I was saying, you guys having a mission, there are people then missing to go to the club, and they really want to have a normal life and a normal daily routine, and the beer at the end of the day is really important, and a drink in general is really important, and you make it happen. Thank you.
Oh, mate, thanks. So do you. You're part of that picture too.
You're right.
We both started in the same place.
Yeah, again, my speciality is to talk and make sure people connect with each other and create channels. That's what I always wanted to, and technology in these days could really give us a hand and a help, and you know, this is what we have to do. And Ree, why Mother Kelly is so special? I know it's a big question. Just go with the flow, man.
Great, yeah.
I'm drinking.
I'm so unprepared for this.
No worries at all. No, just yeah, there we go. You see, this is the best thing.
Cheers. I think I can only really answer that from a personal perspective.
Yeah, please.
Because there are so many fantastic craft beer establishments out there, whether they're breweries or bars or pubs. There's so many great places to go and drink, and there's so much great product to drink. But for me personally, when I moved to London, I didn't like have anything lined up, and I was just kind of chancing it basically. In Mother Kelly's, I wasn't even aiming to work in hospitality. I'd kind of been there and done that, and I was looking to go and work in events. And a part of my step towards establishing myself in the city was, you know, kind of getting my first job and working behind the bar and pouring some pints and some half pints. And Mother Kelly's was the first place that gave me an opportunity to do that. So I think that's why it's special for me. I think it was quite a tricky journey to move from my hometown and start to work in London. And, you know, it kind of took a lot out of me. And I think the opportunity that Mother Kelly's gave me and the way that it supported me and nurtured me through the last, well, it actually, I haven't said this to anybody yet, but it was my 5 years with Mother Kelly's this week.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5 years. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, so so yeah, the last 5 years have been like pretty crazy, but really enjoyable. Yeah, so I think that's why it's special to me.
How many people you met in your journey with MK? Hundreds.
Like so many, like hundreds and hundreds of people. Even if we're just talking staff, I think in 5 years working in hospitality with so many different venues, people come and go, whether they're just kind of students and they're working for a little while, or they're coming overseas on a 2-year visa, or whatever it might be. You just meet so many people working and being in London. Yeah, you know, that's how we met, right?
I remember the first time I came for have an interview. I was really, really, really nervous, because when you talk about Mother Kelly's, you know, people have this kind of opinion, which is like, you know, a sanctuary, is an iconic place where you know, you can find all the beer beauty in the planet all in one go, and everyone is going to be super prepared to reply you, to help you, to give you, you know, the right journey that you really want to go for. And I love the fact that in the same time, yes, there were really special people with special knowledge, but it was friendly. It was very, very easygoing, very, very laid back, you know, very, very cool at the same time. And I guess this is the main reason, because everyone that probably were from Mother Kelly's in these days still have this kind of, you know, attachment, and almost like a sentimental, you know, emotional reaction every single time we put the foot inside. And really, you probably been, you were there where every single venue opened up, almost like early stage, apart from E2, right?
Yeah, apart from Bethnal Green. The week that I started was the week that the first bottle shop opened.
Okay, so you remember that?
Yeah, it's crazy actually. Been doing a lot of reminiscing recently.
What happened when you open a place in an area? It's like, do you starting to participate on a specific area? It's like, when did you open in Stratford? What the community in Stratford had to do, like, you know, get prepared, or they were literally just being curious and put an eye inside the bar and wanted to meet you, wanted to know you. How normally does work when a new venue open up, if I can ask you?
Yeah, of course. It depends. I think as soon as if you're living in an area or working in an area and there's a new restaurant or pub opening up, the less you know about it, the more you want to know about it, right? And I think people are walking past and like, what's it going to be? And there's all the gossip and the kind of chat about what's taking its place, and no one really knows. And then all of a sudden, it's open and it's, you know, it's a beer bar or it's a restaurant or whatever it might be. And I think people are really pleased with themselves, and they feel like they're the first ones to discover something new as well. So when you first open a venue, you always get a really lovely crowd of people that are really excited to, generally a crowd of people that are really excited to have you there. And we're really lucky having already established several Mother Kelly's venues, somewhere like Stratford that's still in East London, but far enough away not to really compete with our other venues, but still close enough for everybody to, well, for people in the area to recognise our name and understand what it is that we do. Yeah, we had I think a fair amount of hype before we opened, and lots of people getting really excited about it, which was so lovely to see, because I think when you're on the inside, you don't really think about how people, like, you do think about how people view your product and how people view the business, but you're not really aware fully of how they do it, if you know what I mean. And so to have people come in and say it to you is just like, it's really lovely. Is that Sergio? Yeah. Sergio, you should be here. Join the chat, mate.
Well, I don't know if we can split the screen in more than two, but I wouldn't. Nice. I mean, let's keep it safe. And Ree, unfortunately, you have to be here for a bit longer than 6:30. So I think we can go longer than 10-15 minutes more if you're happy with that. Is that all right? Yeah.
No, I'm fine. My housemate's cooking me dinner. I'm just getting out of it, basically. Yeah.
So, as I'm aware, more people connecting. Just want to remind to everyone that this is What's in the Glass, and is a digital beer stream, and we are doing on a Wednesday the bottle shop interview. I call it the ground stream, and what we're doing is just like having a beer. The one that I'm having is a track on a beautiful Mother Kelly's glass. And
mate, I've got track too.
Yeah. Here we go.
My Mother Kelly's glass. Oh.
Well, that's very juicy. My one is more like, easy Pilsner, because this is also the week that we are more concentrating on Pilsner. And we managed to, I'm trying to have Oksana on from the E20. We have some technical issues, so Ree is here to save my life. Thank you again, Ree. It's one of the many times you did it. And we're chatting about Mother Kelly's in general, and we were saying about all the different venues. And how do you perceive each of the venues? Are them all very different from each other, or how do you feel about each of them?
Yeah, I think all of them have their own personality, and that comes from the people that work in them, and from the area, but mostly from the staff. And I think the managers have got a lot to answer for when it comes to the kind of the vibe in their venue. But whenever we open a new venue and we hire a new manager to run the show and we hire the staff, we are always looking for big personalities and people that love beer, people that love people, and just really kind of want to they're there to help grow the brand, instead of just kind of just see it as a stepping. I mean, obviously people do see jobs as stepping stones into other things, but there's a bit more personal, I think, is that's usually what we're looking for. People that have more of a personal attachment to what they're doing.
And it works.
And yeah, they're all completely different. And I love it. I think it depends on the size of the venue as well. Like our Vauxhall venue is the biggest tap room of all of them. It's twice the size of our Bethnal Green one. And being south of the river and being really close to a lot of charities, buildings, and offices, it's got more of a kind of after work crowd in a way.
Yeah.
So it's busier on the weeknights and the afternoons, like a Thursday and a Friday night are just absolutely heaving in there. But it's got a real kind of city buzz to it. Whereas if you go into Bethnal Green, it's got more of a kind of neighborhood, resident, kind of local feel to it. Both of them are really, really nice in their own way, which is great.
Something that I always love about the E2, it was they were the regular customers that were having the beer at the bar, on the tables, standing outside, which is what you expect from, a bar, a beer bar, or a pub as well, like a modern pub. And then suddenly they were the one that I know we could recognize, and they were the guys that were jumping on the fridges, check each of them in just like a fraction of a second, scan all of them from top to the end, realize what was new, getting 20 of them in one go, and almost like had this kind of, how we can say that? It's like an excitement of getting the latest, go home, make sure to try them, realize, and, wow, I was just like, this is a serious thing. Beer is such a special, serious thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone's got their niche, everyone's got their thing that they love, and I think craft beer is no exception. You definitely get your big craft beer fans, and when you launch a beer or when you've got something in that's quite rare, I mean, every time we get Cantillon in the fridges, you'll get people coming in and like almost waiting outside before you open in the morning to see if they can grab a bottle, because they know that it's so limited but also so tasty.
Yeah.
And whether they're drinking it or whether they're sending it off to the States to trade it for something else, it's that excitement of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you're a kid, you're kind of into, trading cards or whatever it might be. And then you kind of, I think it never leaves you. It just kind of moves up the stages into adulthood, and you just have a different thing that you're crazy about. By the way, hey, Esther.
Yeah, hello, Esther.
We've got people from Barcelona joining us. Great.
This is
gone international.
Oh man, again, it just I have lots of time to spend to learn digital bomb marketing techniques and see how it works. But I also think then again, if there is someone in here from far, maybe in a different time of the day as well than we do, it's because we managed to share, good time and memories and as you said, people is key. And because you have had the people as well, what would I like to say to you? What's your favorite venue? I know it's a tricky one, but you have to.
You can't ask me that. That's like, I feel like I have to pick a favorite child. I don't have one. I think every time I'm in a venue, I think it's my favorite. And I'm like, yeah, this one's definitely my favorite. And then the next day I'm in a different venue and I'm like, this one's definitely my favorite. They're all special for different reasons. And I definitely don't have a least favorite. I think we're really, really privileged in the way that all of our venues have got similarities, but they're also different and different enough to kind of set them apart from each other. And the teams are different, but one thing that all of them have in common is that they're just full of lovely people. And I just really look forward to walking through the door and seeing a bunch of people that you really, really like, and you're really glad that you get to see them every day and that they're working for you. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. And again, when people telling me about what we're gonna speak about in these shows, for me is like, I don't really have to necessarily speak about beer and when I'm speak about beer, because there is so much you can tell about the industry, the elements. Yesterday, I had Mark Dredge and is a beer writer, and then we finished to speak about culture, almost like sociology and anthropology, because it's such a old thing, beer, old universe. We're talking about probably, 5,000 years ago, and we're still here chatting about around it. It's insane, it's insane. And what would I like to say to you? What's your favorite beer overall in 5 years? The best, your best memory. Come on,
you are killing me today. My favorite beer, I can't give you a favorite. I think I would say with I would say there are probably two beers that spring to mind, and it's not necessarily because they're like the greatest beers that have ever been made, but they're
Okay.
just attached to
Yeah.
experiences and memories.
Yes.
So I think, um, oh, what was the name of it? There was when I was on Beer with Nat on her podcast, a couple of years, a year or two ago, um, I was drinking a Pohjala beer, which
Hmm.
was one that when we visited them in Estonia, because we did a trip to Estonia to go and see the guys in Tallinn.
What a treat!
Um,
Wow.
oh, it was so good, and we got so drunk every night. Those guys, are absolute maniacs. Um, but I can't remember the name of it now. But there was a beer that it was called Kalana. It was called Kalana,
Yeah.
um, which was brewed. It's a stout, an imperial stout that's brewed with pine needles and vanilla and a few other things. And it was really delicious. But the reason I love it so much is when I went, they'd just bottled it. So it was a fresh batch. And I tried it for the first time in the brewery with the guys that had brewed it. And it was just, yeah, it was just a great experience and something that I won't forget. Um, and Elliot and I went to Bristol to go and visit the guys at Left Handed Giant, who are all complete legends. And we said he's really going for it on the comments
Oh,
tonight.
that is, today is crazy.
Yeah, I went to Bristol with Elliot, who was working in head office as the distribution manager at the time. And yeah, we went and brewed Spindrift, which was an IPA collaboration with Left Handed Giant and Mother Kelly. So I was super proud of that. It was really tasty and it was a great day out. And it was one of the last times I got to hang out with Elliot before he left us and moved on to greener pastures, setting up his own business. So big shout out to All Good Beer. If you guys don't know of them, you need to know of them.
Hackney
They're
Downs,
a
right?
fantastic business. Huh?
Hackney Downs. It's it.
Yeah, Hackney Hub. You should get Elliot on here actually.
It's
That'd
happening.
be It's happening. Oh good.
It's gonna happen.
So yeah, I think those two would probably be the two that I would pick up first. What about you? What's your favorite beer?
So I have beautiful memory, and it's funny because it happened in Mother Kelly's before working for Mother Kelly's. It was the day before my interview with you, and yeah, I
I
was.
forget that I interviewed you. It's so weird.
Yeah,
Like thinking that now, like sitting
I'm
with you
taking my
here.
revenge now. I'm taking my revenge.
Yeah, you've been biding your time for the last 4 years.
Oh well, it was the evening before, and I just wanted to pop over and see how the menu was looking like. What did you have on it? And I was with a good friend of mine, which normally follow the show as well. And we were checking the whole menu, but I couldn't leave my eyes out away from put my eyes away from the first of the list, which was um, Brooklyn Brewery, and it was the old fashioned. And
Oh yeah.
and I was just like, I don't understand what's going on in here, but this description sounds great. I knew just Brooklyn Lager about the brewery, and I didn't even know they were doing this stuff. Try it. It was kind of summery as well, which probably is not my way to go type of beer for that kind of weather. And it blows my mind because I probably knew you could do so many different type of style, but that beer was insane. Was rich, was beautiful, and also it was a new start for me. So I reconnected with what was going to happen. Hopefully soon in my life. Plus, I was with a friend that it was leaving soon. And I was in your outside area in E2, which is you almost feel like you are in a beer garden somewhere in Germany, which is so nice and so great. So that is one of my best memory. I got many, but this is the one that makes more sense to talk today.
I
And
love that.
yeah, I'm telling you. And what would I have to say to you? is anything new happen in Mavicali's world? I know you're working hard on distribution right now, so you're creating like your own, you're doing your own delivery, and that's what you're setting up the most, right?
Oh, what, whilst we're going through the kind of C19 period, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as I guess everybody in this industry is felt over the last kind of month, yeah, like we ended up having to close all of our venues for a period of time, and then because the government changed their restrictions on who could and couldn't open, it meant that we were able to reopen one of our shops just as an off license, just for takeaway sales, which also meant that we could run Uber Eats from there as well. So if any of you guys are in or around Stoke Newington, and you go to Church Street to pick up any of your essentials, we've got Mother Kelly's bottle shop open there from Tuesday to Saturday each week. And yeah, we're on Uber Eats as well. So if you're in the area, you can buy remotely. You don't even have to leave the house. But yeah, so we've got one venue open on restricted hours. And then we've been working really hard on, well, I say I actually have done very little. It's been Nika and Nigel who have been working really hard on perfecting the online store and getting it up and running to the kind of best level we can to cope with the demand that we've got at the moment, because it obviously spiked a bit when the venues closed. But it's been going well. We've had tons and tons of orders coming in, so really grateful for the trade and the people choosing to order with us. It's great.
And Reed, do you planning to keep going with your beautiful newsletters, which is delighting every single time I'm receiving
Oh no!
inbox?
Oh no, you read them. I kind
Of
of
course
hope
I
that people
do.
just delete them.
No, I always read them. It's my window into the world and I like, and please don't give up. We want to know what's happening. Even if
Oh,
it's
thanks, mate.
even if it's a little, even if it is just like new beers dropped, or I'm sure there are people who want to listen, like maybe local stories about the venues where that you have. Maybe there is something happen. So don't give up. Find a way, and trust me, there are people that read them, and I do. I really do. And
Oh, thanks, mate. That's
I
very kind of you.
I would love.
Yeah, I'm still writing them. I think at the moment, like over the last few weeks, things have been so like the usual order of the day is kind of out the window, and we're just kind of doing what needs to be done each day. And I think you wake up in the morning, and I mean, this week and last week have been a bit more settled, but for the first couple of weeks of us kind of being in lockdown and not having the venues open, it was just crazy every day. There was so much to do and so much to sort out. And it was just, oh, thanks, Nat. um, there was just so much to do. I think stuff like writing the newsletter is super important, but for us, making sure that the staff are paid is even more important, and making sure that they're looked after. So it kind of took a back seat for a little while, but I'm still writing it. I sent one out, I think last week or the week before. And yeah, I just kind of send bits and pieces out as and when. But yeah, I've not got quite so much product to talk about now. So I
Yeah.
have to find other things instead.
That's a good point. Yeah, like I was chatting with many people in the industry, and social media, marketing in general. It's all a bit freezed in a way. There isn't really not much point to keep going on it, apart if you really have to push, your online sales. That's the main thing, or spread positivity, which you are the best out there. So just saying, and
You are too much today, mate. Honestly.
look at that. I mean,
Stop.
we got Tiny Rebel watching us. This is what I'm saying. It's like this is beautiful. And really, I'm usually doing. I think when we are close to the time, and we had to jump away from the screen, and I'm always asking a question, because you guys can provide a little present for someone out there, and the question is going to be very simple. My question is, guys, if you know what is the name which wasn't on the post that I did today of the beautiful lady that is in here with me sharing the screen, do you can you please put the name below in the comment area? The first person who's replying to telling me what's the name of this beautiful lady in here first win a beer from Mother Kelly. So please, and you know, just let's see what's going on. And I see also Sylvan, which
Hey, Sylvan.
which for me,
Oh, Vic got it. Vic
yeah,
won.
you,
Hey, Vic.
there are people in here that actually knows. You see how to play with it. Oh man, I can't wait to see Mother Kelly's open again. I can't see. I can't wait to see you and all the people in the comments today again, because we were living a very disrupted time, and we couldn't even believe this was going to happen. You know, it's such a special time. And do you have a suggestion for people? Anything that could keep them well as we are trying to do? Whatever suggestion, Reed. Blank paper.
Well, one thing that I know works really well for me, and I've been trying to encourage our staff to do it as well, is to try and get into a bit of a routine. I think for me, it's, I'm one of the lucky ones. I'm still working 5 days a week, so I kind of know what day of the week it is. But I think for a lot of people out there, that like some people are on furlough, so they're fortunate enough to be able to still be getting paid, and then some people are, aren't able to work or get any pay at the moment, which must be so stressful. And I don't know what the best advice is for everybody in that respect. But I know that it really helps me to keep my mind straight, to keep a routine every day and do things that are just for me. I think in my line of work, you've got a lot of people contacting you regularly, and I think it's really easy to feel pulled in a lot of different directions and to be a bit kind of maybe overstimulated with questions, and just like people needing information from you or needing you to be somewhere at a certain time or to provide something for them. And at the moment, I'm finding it's working really well to, when I get up in the morning, I'll just put my running clothes on and I'll go for a run first thing just as the sun's rising. And during that time, because I'm just focusing on what I'm doing, I can't think about anything else. I'm just focusing about where I am, like the sunlight, sound of birds, whatever it might be, not falling over and not dying. And then when I come back, I just, this sounds probably really ridiculous, take my speaker into the garden, roll out my yoga mat, stick my hoodie on, and I'll put an incense stick in the garden, do 15 minutes of yoga as soon as I get back, and some stretching, and then just kind of have a leisurely shower and some breakfast. But actually that time in the morning is mine. It's not for anybody else. No one's talking to me, no one's disturbing me, and it's something that kind of gets me up, gets me out of the house. And I also think just like having that bit of exercise each day, when you come to go to bed in the evening, your body's a bit more tired, so you can sleep better. And I think if you're sleeping well, then and in general, you're less likely to be as stressed or to struggle as much, maybe. But yeah, that's what I do. I don't know, different things work for different people, but I think you just got to listen to yourself and listen to your body, and kind of just look after yourself and not push yourself too hard. And if you're feeling stressed, it's okay to be stressed. It's all right to worry. You can't switch it off, and I don't think you should. I don't think it's necessary to try and distract yourself with lots of new hobbies or creative outlets. I think if that's what works for you, then it's wonderful. And if you can come out of this and you've learned a new skill, then that's the best thing. Go you. But at the same time, I think you just need to make sure that you kind of waking up in the morning and being kind to yourself. I know that sounds really obvious, but it's true.
It doesn't, trust me. In these days, good words and good suggestions are gold, and this is what we have to do, all of us. So thank you to save my stream today. I will have Oksana soon. She's not safe no more. She's not safe yet. She has to go.
She was really looking forward to this.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have it soon with her. So it's just like technology. You can't do anything with it. When it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But I'm gonna have it soon with her. For now, thank you, Ree. It's been a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Thanks, Gav. Yeah.
And you really, really did well, because you really, you know, remind us what's important, and you also are proof that Mother Kelly is a great company made by great people like you. Trust me.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind.
And
you take care of yourself, okay?
I will. I'm trying. Not drinking too much beer, doing lots of streams, studying yoga, all my things. So keeping myself in the best way. And tomorrow you're going to have Ben from Affinity. So if you want to connect and see how he goes, and we're going to speak about beer and politics, which is a tricky one.
Oh, wow.
So let's see how it goes. And Ree, take care of yourself. Thank you very much.
See you later, mate. Bye, guys.
And ignore Sylvan comments, because you can't do anything with that. Take care. Ciao.
See ya.